Hello, greetings. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a yoga posture called Vajrāsana. This is Sanskrit for the diamond or Thunderbolt pose. It's a pretty meditative posture. It's quite relaxing. One of the great benefits of this posture is that because of the pressure that occurs in the legs, the energy moves upwards and it improves and helps and even stimulates your digestion. So it's one of the poses in which you can actually even eat in. You can sit in this posture while you're eating, or you can practice it directly after eating. Usually it's recommended to not practice yoga right after a meal, but this is a bit of an exception because of how much it stimulates your digestion. It's also good for meditation. However, because of the pressure in the legs, it may begin to become a little bit uncomfortable on the knees or the legs, which is not ideal for extended periods of meditation, in which you ideally want to be comfortable and not disturbed by any unpleasant sensations in your body. So for meditation, it's really best to assume any seated position in which you can really just be relaxed and just sink into your meditation. If you can do this in Vajrāsana, that's great. Personally, I find it difficult to hold Vajrāsana for longer than 10 or 15 minutes because my legs start to hurt. So if I do like a little short meditation, I like to practice the posture just on its own and practice a different seated position, such as actually what I'm just a cross-legged position like I'm sitting in now for meditation. Anyway, a few more things about Vajrāsana is because the energy begins to move up in that way, it also, and because of the placement of the arms, which I will demonstrate in a moment, the energy moves up towards the heart chakra, Anahata chakra, and also Ajna chakra, the third eye. So it's one of these postures in which two chakras are simultaneously being activated. The beauty about this is that in connecting the heart and the mind, you cultivate a sense of compassion. It's this idea of a mindful heart and a heartful mind. So it has this beautiful effect on the deeper levels of your being besides the physical ones. Yes. A few contraindications for this posture is that if you have an injury in the knees, ankles, or legs, it's best that you first actually just recover, because it adds more pressure, so it can, damage whatever you've got going on there even worse. So if you want to practice yoga for healing, it's again important to know what you're doing, because not all yoga will heal all kinds of things. Sometimes some things should be avoided until healed. You can practice it if you're pregnant. It's just mostly pressure in the legs in this posture. I wanted to say something else. Yes. So if you don't have an injury in the legs, but you have kind of like issues with the way that prana, or like your life force, flows through the feet. I tend to have this. I'm a rising Pisces, so we tend to have kind of like issues around with the feet. Most of my accidents that I've had have been in the legs. So actually a posture like Vajrāsana, because of the way that it actually puts pressure on the feet and the ankles, it's very good for cultivating the flow of energy in the feet and the legs. Yes? Okay, let's practice Vajrāsana. How to practice Vajrāsana? You basically sit on your knees, you bring the legs together, so not wide but together. Your spine is straight, not overarching, also not hunched, just straight. And then you place the 4 first fingers on the top of the thigh, just like on the groin. And then the thumbs are pointing outwards, like so. The thumb is outwards. You notice that with the thumb being outwards, this is what opens the chest a little more. If I was to have all my fingers here, it doesn't create that opening in the chest. So that is why we have the thumb outwards, chest open, the chin is parallel with the mat, and close your eyes and begin to interiorize your awareness, focusing at the level of the heart chakra and the third eye. You can use your breath and maybe even alternate the attention between the two. a few things is, okay, so again, the spine, you're straight, not overarching or not slouching. When we relax, there's sometimes a tendency to slouch. So it's good to train your body to actually be relaxed, but still having a straight spine. And now the feet, I'm sitting actually, so with the toes pointing inwards between my ankles, but there's a small space between the toes. In this way, you actually build up more polarity within your being. If you actually want to have your energy more like connected and not build so much on the polarity, you can cross your toes. The rest remains the same. So with that being said, you can experiment with both variations and see what works best for you. I personally like to charge up my being when I practice yoga, so I practice it with a toe, keeping a small space between the toes. Now, if being completely on the legs like this is painful for you, you can pile up cushions or pillows here while still applying all the other things that I said in the posture. So with the sitting between your heels with the legs together, so you would place the pillow basically here, but still having the feet together. Sometimes I see that when people place a pillow, they then begin to separate the legs, which would be actually another yoga posture. Yes, so that's Vajrāsana for you today. I hope you enjoy this posture. May it bring compassion in a time where the world really needs it, within ourselves and for others. May you be well, may you be healthy, may you be happy, and may you be free. Thank you for tuning in, and namaste.